Ooh, okay. Welcome. It's been.
What a way to start.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it has been a very. I mean, the month has just started, but I feel like it's been a very long month already. We've had so many weekends. I mean, you've been doing a lot of busy things too.
I have not stopped one of these weekends yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. This yeah. I mean, last weekend, we went to the movies, saw
Yeah.
Venom. That was
That
pretty.
was
cool.
good though. That was really
movie.
good. And of course, being in school, I'm homework every
Yeah, you got
weekend right
homework.
now.
So,
Midterms
midterm-
coming up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about midterms.
So the paper I was talking about earlier is my
Yeah.
midterm paper, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why I've been spending so much time on it.
That's the one thing I'm really happy about. The fact that I'm graduating is I don't have to worry about midterms.
You say
or
what
finals.
homework, then you go home and do paperwork though.
I'm just saying though, because it's something that I don't like. Karate is something I love doing, so I don't mind doing the little bit of paperwork that I have.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, it's going to increase here within the next year, but
that's the hope.
Yeah,
That's the hope, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
More paperwork means more business.
Yeah,
and more kids to teach karate to,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
So no, everything is busy, but it's fine. I mean, I'm tired, but this upcoming weekend, well, I know it's really bad. I'm already looking forward to next weekend, but finally things got planned. That's not karate related, so that part is really nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. What about you? Do you got anything planned for this upcoming weekend?
I think I have 2 midterms this week and then 2 more next week. So I'm looking forward to the weekend after.
No,
I don't have
okay.
anything.
There you go. There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back to another segment of Saying of the Month. We will be try to do this earlier every month, but I mean we were really busy this last week, so we're going to try to do it as fast as we can.
Hopefully it'll be out near like the beginning of the month, for like the first or second day of the month.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll be that prepared. Probably won't happen, but we can hope.
We can always cross your
Yeah,
fingers.
yeah.
So this month's October 2021 saying of the month is done selfishly dies with us. Done
For others.
for others. There's done for others.
Is immortal.
Is immortal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Done selfishly dies with us. Done for others is immortal.
This one, it was really hard for me to
It's-
think about.
It's definitely an interesting one, but like it can also be self-explanatory in some
In
ways.
some ways.
In some ways, but in other ways, it's just like, oh, like you could go real like down the rabbit hole.
I mean, like, how
and
far
out the
down
other
the
end.
rabbit hole do we want to
Yeah.
go with this one?
That's the real question. So obviously, the simple answer, right? When you do something nice for a stranger, I don't know if everybody's seen the video they had to during school. Maybe a bunch of your kids probably saw it. The kids saw it, but they would play the video of a guy opening a door for a woman, and then that act of kindness snowballs, and eventually, each person is doing something kind for somebody. They have no clue who they are. I don't remember what that's called.
You think, okay, so this, it was one of those trends that was happening, I don't know, a couple of months ago, is where, well, I mean, it still happens once in a while, where you buy a drink for the person behind you as well.
Yeah. Yep.
And then that just sort of, everybody else does it behind
Exactly.
them.
Exactly.
But then
yeah.
that one jerk that won't do it because they're in a rush or something. And then, that just puts everybody else in a foul
Yep.
mood. So, I mean, if you look at it that way for the trend-wise, it's like done selfishly. He's only thinking about himself. And then, it actually hurts him more than anything else. But then done for others, and then everybody's more happy in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember what it's called. I can't remember the name. Hopefully at some point I'll remember it during this segment. But it's kind of think of it like that, as the snowball effect, where you do something nice for one person, that person's going to be more apt to do something nice for somebody they meet, as small as like holding the door or like, helping somebody that dropped their stuff pick it up,
Right.
or even like you said, buying a drink for somebody.
Oh, and then
Bunch of small
I
little things.
probably won't go on a tangent this time like the last. If you guys haven't seen the last one, I definitely recommend it. I go on this like 10-minute
It was pretty
tangent.
good.
So
I get to sit here and listen to it. It's pretty interesting.
I don't know if I have the thought process right now to go through another tangent about this quote, because this is a really, really tough quote for me to just even think about in general. So I mean, you think this one is very simple because it says You know, if you don't think about others, then you just sort of you're alone pretty much.
I
But
mean,
then if you do it for others, it's like you have people around you. Okay, you know what? Okay, uh-oh.
tangent
Here
time.
you go. So if you really think about it, I mean, the fact that there's this chance of dying alone because you are only thinking about yourself, or if you look at a broader perspective and family wise, if you're only doing things for your own family, not for the community, then are you actually helping your kids? Because I mean, if you're wanting to help your kids be better at this or that, shouldn't you put more time and volunteer yourself to improve that environment for your kids? Right? I mean, if you really think about it, if you do it selfishly and only think about yourself and your kids, then you don't progress any better than the person next to you in a sense. I mean, you're improving your kids' situation, but then if it's a team activity, you are not helping the people around you and build that team, right? So if you're going there and doing this selfishly and just taking the resources, are you really helping your own kid in that community, in that team activity? But if you do it for others, then it helps everybody around you, not just your kids, not just the person you're helping, but it helps everybody else. I mean, done selfishly. I mean, that's just pure and simple right there. If you're doing things selfish and it only benefits you. Yes, of course, some things you might want to do selfishly. I want to hog the last piece of cake upstairs. Of course. It's cake. I want to do it, right? It's mine. But at the same time, what if, maybe my dad or my mom had a bad day and they were really craving sweets, right? I mean, if you look at it in that simply, then is it really simple though? I mean, who knows? All right.
Yeah.
That was about 5 minutes.
Yeah. We got the tangent. Yeah. No, 100% I agree with that. But like when you think about it, it's done selfishly. Like you just went into that, dies with you. What does that mean? Dies with you. Are you the only? Maybe people know about that selfish act.
Let's
dive.
Let's create die. What is considered die? Is it leaving the community? Is it like actually dying? Is it? I mean, what part of it is technically dying? In my opinion, I think it's leaving that community.
I would say it goes along with the word legacy. I mean, you could also relate Immortal to that, right? But this quote for me, this one word that comes to mind when I see this is your legacy, right? What happens to your name in that community after you either leave, die, whatever.
Yes.
What happens to your name? Is there respect behind it? Is there anger when people bring up your name? Is there distaste? What influence did you leave there? And that's really what you have to think about when you think of this quote, I guess.
If you're going to war, are you going in by yourself or with people?
Yeah, that too.
I mean, that's really, really simple, especially in the community, because we're all bonded together through thick and thin in a community, whether it's the military, the police academy, college. I mean, if you're with others and you're building people around you, or that person building people around you, and you're enjoying that group, why would you ruin it? Why would you go out of the way and keep on questioning things? Or, of course, you want Of course, you want your questions answered, of course. But where's the empathy behind it?
Okay, questioning things. You are not. If you're not questioning things, on my opinion, in my personal opinion of anything, if you are not questioning things, you are not doing something right. First of all. But behind those questions, there needs to be a sense of, I'm looking at these questions to understand, not to maliciously hurt, attack anybody.
Or selfishly gain anything.
Yes, I'm purely to learn. That's what your questions need to be.
And there needs to be empathy behind those words if you're going to do that. I mean, because in a sense, you should everything shouldn't be written out for word. Mm-hmm. I mean, in life, there is no black and white at all. No matter where you go, what world you go, and there is no black or white. There will always be gray. So why do things only for yourself when things can just work out better if everybody does a little bit, including yourself? Why do the bare minimum? Of course, hold on, before I get into that part. It is okay to do the bare minimum as long as it's not hurting the people around you.
And a group
Just wanna point
project,
that
don't do the
out.
bare minimum. Because
Please
then everybody in your
don't.
group project hates you.
Yes, and you don't want that. You don't want that.
Yep.
Okay, so it is okay to do the bare minimum, but if you are trying to build something for your child, do as much as you can, as much as you are allowed to, but don't put too much on your plate, please. Okay, that's where things go even worse than being selfish. But going back to the quote, being with you, being with others, should help the community in putting your foot forward as well. Nothing's going to be written out in black and white. There will be okay. Oh my gosh.
Another tangent.
Just thinking about this, I'm just saying that in college, is everything written out?
Absolutely
not even
not.
in the syllabus, and they hand you like a 5-page syllabus in every class.
Yeah, no.
Nothing is written out. You can always use yourself as an example when it comes to these things. I mean, you're in college. I was in college. Nothing is straightforward written out. You always have to talk to the professor about, like, especially math.
We had a freeze. No, we're back.
Are we back? Oh,
We're back.
okay.
We're good.
Yeah. Someone's watching Netflix upstairs.
That's okay.
So, okay. Well, okay. Anyways.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just one freeze. But, I mean, man, life is supposed to be tough. It's supposed to challenge you. You're supposed to ask questions. But if you ask questions to maliciously gain from this, then you're not helping the community. You're actually making the community worse. You're putting distaste in everybody's mouth. It's like going to a group meeting, asking about questions about a lot of things that shouldn't have to be written out, and then making more paperwork for everybody else because you want it written out. Would you like that, to go into a class and this one person keeps on raising their hand and asking questions, and next thing you know, the next day you have like 5 extra pieces of paper you have to sign and read? Yeah, no one would want that. Everybody would not like that person.
That would be a class I dropped.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
I would be gone.
I would
out the door.
hate that. But back to the quote, done selfishly dies with us, done for others is immortal.
Yes.
And that word immortal is key, because whatever you do that helps the community, people will remember. People will always talk about your efforts you put in constantly.
Your legacy. I like that word.
That is a beautiful word. It's
Legacy.
perfect for this quote. Yeah. It is your legacy. How will you be remembered in the next 5 years, 10 years that you are part of this community? Because I'm just saying, the things that happen, things you do badly, will be way more remembered than anything else that you did. It will outweigh,
no matter what.
And if you exit out so badly, people will remember that. Not the goods that you did, but the way you exited out. So please remember that. I mean, we've had our fair share of people in my life in general. I'm not just saying part of the karate school, but in life, that has exited my life so poorly. I still remember. Like, I remember all the good things we did, but I just can't get that taste out of my mouth. For example, when I was in Japan, there's this really, really awesome person that I just connected with so well. And then we were out drinking one day. And then, of course, you're not supposed to talk about politics, but, I want to talk about culture because I was having a hard time just sort of thinking about things. So I want to talk about it. And, of course, Japan culture, American culture, or culture anywhere else is different.
Yep.
So I decided to talk about it, and I said something that I think insulted him on accident. So then he just shut up from there. He was quiet. So, we tried talking like, hey, you want to explain things? I don't know what I said, but, I want to apologize. He's like, oh, it's nothing. I'm just like, oh, no.
Oh, that's not good.
No. And I owed him money, so I met him at a train station, gave him money. I handed him money. He walked off immediately.
Ooh.
I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? We couldn't even talk about this? You just walked away from me? And since that day, never talked to him once. It is, I feel bad because I wanted to talk it out. Because, don't get me wrong. I don't like conflict. No one likes conflict. But conflict resolves things in a sense. Like, if it's empathetic conflict, it will resolve things. But nothing happened. So please, your legacy might not be long, or it could be short. But people will still remember you. People will still run into you, especially in this valley. Everybody knows everybody. It's not that hard to run into people. So, do you have any last words for this one?
Not from me. Nope.
All right, that is it for this month's saying of the month. Please come back in for more inspirational quotes like this where we dive deep into it every beginning of the month. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one.
Bye bye.